BD. We are also kind of focusing more on like what are the issues that they're facing right now, or if in any way you can support them in making things more relevant, and also using your role in terms of like bringing out more opportunities when it comes to supporting your MCP's BD. Yes. So expectations for this space, basically this is an input and communication space. So there might be like information from our side as well. Basically, it's we really want to clarify a lot of things. We might not have solutions for everything in this space right now, but what we want to do is get your inputs and get your questions and concerns so we can take those into input in the future spaces that we will be having together with you all, and also together with your MCVP's BD. Okay, next up. So yes, in terms of coaching, so number one part is also going to be working together with the regional office and doing sales. But also, other than that, Serafina's part, in terms of coaching, consultancy, and capacity building, what support do you need from the regional office? Both comes to MCPs and MCVPs BD. So we've created this Google form, and it has both the questions. It only has like 4 questions: your name, your entity, and your questions for coaching, as well as your questions for your sales. Wait a minute. Okay. So you can keep this Google form in handy, and then keep just maybe you can submit it multiple times, whatever you want. So just keep this in handy. So when it comes to working with the regional office and AI, what comes to your mind? I want to know like from 1 or 2 people, how has been your experience so far? There might be cases like you have not worked at all when it comes to regional office or AI when it comes to BD, not just in terms of sales, but like I want to hear like 1 or 2 sharings, maybe just one. Anyone? You can also write in the chat. Yeah. Thank you, Prayog. Okay. Um, Maybe if anybody would like to share, or if not, we can move ahead. If you want to share, you can write in the chat. I will move ahead. Yes, thank you so much, Jika. Okay. Number one, why should my entity work with regional office? Basically, I have one MCVP BD, or maybe I have 2 MCVPs BD. Why should I invest my time working with the regional office? That's a very relevant question, and I feel you. You are not obliged to, but there are a lot of benefits when it comes to working with the regional office or AI. Basically, when it comes to the value propositions, when it comes to doing sales together with the regional office, what unique value a regional sales or a global sales provide to your partners that you cannot provide on a national scale can be when it comes to internal touch points, access and engagement with young leaders, and network influencers. Basically, what I'm calling network influencers are the people in this call, your MCPs, you yourselves of the region, leading more than 7,000 members in 21 countries and territories. And this is something that a lot of companies might be looking for. So, me being one person responsible for sales in the region will not have an exact picture. So, a lot of you will have such companies in your entities, such prospects, or your maybe current partners that are present, let's say, in multiple countries in the region and are looking to reach out to more ISECers, let's say. But the thing is, like, we're not exploring opportunities to the full extent yet. And another opportunity could also be for the internal touchpoints is getting inputs and insights from Asia Pacific as a region, because again, we are such a diverse region, and the youth here are in our membership are like super woke, super smart. So if companies are looking for inputs and insights, there are companies who even do like product launches, or they share like trial versions of like their new projects and initiatives. So if they're looking for such inputs or beta testing or something like that, this can also be something innovative that you can propose to your partners. Amplifying expansion in the region for a prospective partner, if it's a partner that is not that wide in the region yet, and they want to expand into the region as a whole, then they can also look into having a regional partnership and coming to our ISA conferences. Again, just for a clarification, when I say regional partnership, I don't necessarily mean that give your partner to me. like you are not the account manager anymore. This is not what I mean. I mean, you can choose to do that, but you can also choose not to do that. Another point is that more exclusive touch points with the region for employer branding. So if it's a partner that is looking to hire extremely good candidates for their roles, let's take an example from Mind Valley. Like Mind Valley has more than 80% of people from ISEC. So like if there are such, and that company is growing so fast, so it's like one of our good case practices, I would say. Like if there are such partners that really value ISECers and ISEC talent, then you can propose these touch points to them. When it comes to external touch points, there are ever events, initiatives, and external events as well. And what is the value proposition again is like access and engagement with our external audience. So we can have regional campaigns, again, executed together with their MCVP's marketing. But again, when it comes to the revenue, it is all split in every entity that is involved in delivering these initiatives. So it's not like you just give your partner and I take all your revenue, or another entity takes all of your revenue. It's all fair and it's all like transparent. Exclusively co-created regional events. There might even be cases where we don't have such created events yet, where we not everything has to be a YSF, not everything has to be a world's largest lesson. We can even co-create regional events together. We are always open for it. If there is a partner that is looking to have, let's say, a webinar in Asia Pacific region, let's do it. The recent partnership, global partnership that we had with Huawei, basically the only thing that we sold to them for that partnership was webinar, and it's a global partner now. And now we are planning to engage them again and again in future initiatives. So it's just like it doesn't have to be something that is already in place. We can work on creating something together. And engagement in our huge presence in the universities within the region, this is something that we haven't really capitalized on a regional scale or a global scale yet. And I think AP as a region has this unique opportunity, has this unique value proposition, that we have a lot of LCs that are actually university based. So if there are partners that are looking to engage with more university students, let's say, we can also capitalize on that. Again, you have the link to the form, so you can always like put in your questions or concerns that you have. Just taking it through a few main points when it comes to the ER principles, because I can understand like it can be a bit confusing. Basically, what is a global, regional, or entity partnership? The contract is signed if with a global headquarter, then it's signed with AI. Again, just to note that regional office cannot legally sign a document. So every regional partnership that you probably will upscale, or that you will probably sell together with the regional office, the contract will be signed together with AI and not regional office. So AI is the legal stakeholder when it comes to contract signing. And partnership delivery location, at least 2 regions for AI, at least 3 countries in one region for regional office, and national coverage for entities. And partnership structure, like you can have a GC for an AI partnership, an RC for a regional office partnership when it comes to exchanges, because like if it's not an exchange related partnership, then you can, like, it doesn't make sense to have a coordinator. Okay, next up, what are the alignments required while selling with the regional office? Basically, just to make sure that nothing is assumed and nothing is under the books or something. We sign a memorandum of understanding together with you, the entities, and which has all the relevant information required for the agreement required for. And it doesn't have to be like, again, it's not about you upscaling or giving your partner to the regional office. It can also be us selling together, you selling something to your partners for regional events as well. Okay, global sales portfolio. Number one is GEP, basically global exchange product, just another name for our ELD products of ISEC, to easily explain to our partners, because ELD might be too complicated for them to understand. And our current GEB products are GTA and GTE. Unfortunately, GV is dormant from AI and region level at the moment, and both physical and remote or partly remote. So this is also something that you can always keep your eyes open for. I can give you like a really good, okay, I will give you a really good GC. Maybe like Sarah, you can also jump in for this. So Americas recently closed a partnership with this organization called Academia Europea, and it's a GTE partnership for, is it remote or is it partly remote, Sarah?
Partly remote, because for no regions is doing fully remote for our regional
Mm-hmm.
partners. But I can carry on, like, if you want me to introduce about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
partnership between them.
yeah.
So basically what they did was that for the RMBD of Americas, they talk about this partnership about, like, say, having more people coming to this Academia Europea, yes. And so what they did was that after they have this partnership, which they confirmed around 30 GTE for the first batch, so they put this account into an MC. That MC was Guatemala, or I think it was another one. But yeah, there was one
Panama,
MC who
Panama
took all
maybe, I think,
30, yeah, yeah, I think, yeah. And
or
you can
whatever.
check the Instagram for
Yeah.
exact MC. So basically, the MC would take all 30 of this GTE opportunities. And what Auto would do is that we will facilitate, we'll have a GC that facilitate all the exchanges happening, like including the promotion part to other regions, OGX RMs, so that they are aware of there is a regional partner and that it will push to your entity. And that is something that that has been happening on regional partner wise, and also what we are trying to do in AP as well so far. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And there might be some opportunities for global teacher as well in your entities. Maybe there is a scope, or maybe there is a trend that people want to learn foreign languages, let's say like English, or let's say Spanish or anything. So this is also something that you can look into, turning it into a regional partnership. Next up, we have regional coordinator definition. I don't think like I need to go that much into detail. Basically, this person is going to be responsible for all the talent shortlisting and taking away pressure from you and the regional office. So this is their only job. When it comes to the global sales portfolio, who delivers what? We have different cases. So when it comes to talent shortlisting or exchange delivery fee, exchange entirely on MC. When it comes to talent shortlisting and selection fees, it is entirely customizable. It is entirely based on mutual understanding and agreement between AI, regional office, and the entities. So there is nothing like, okay, it is preset. So as you can see, we have different models here. And again, depending on the pricing as well, it's all taken from the ER principles, by the way. So you can always take a look at that. Next up, we have global amplifier products, basically just another name for EVA products or BD initiatives that are not exchange related, to easily explain to the partners. And global amplifier products increase the appeal, exposure, and value of ISEC, and they often include partner brand positioning, employer branding initiatives, and all of that. These products include, but they are not limited to, plenary spaces in national conferences, national digital marketing campaigns, and all of that. So let's say I have a partner. Let's imagine I have a partner called Windows. Okay, what am I saying? Like Microsoft. Sorry, we already have a partner Microsoft, but like if we have this partner called Microsoft and they wanna engage with ISEC in Vietnam, let's say, for a national conference, then I will reach out to them. And I also have mentioned what is gonna be like the delivery for delivering a global amplifier product. So it's basically from AI or regional office delivering a product in an entity. So that way an entity gets an additional touch point, and it also increases the value of your touch points as well. So you also have these different touch points or different segments of the whole delivery mentioned in the ER principles. Onboarding and everything is majorly is on AI or RO, but then when it comes to execution part, it's basically on MC and LC. Okay, next up we have communication when it comes to regional office or AI partners. First touch point should be the account manager or me, and not the partner. So if you are looking to approach, let's say DHL in your country, or if you're looking to approach, let's say Microsoft or PwC in your countries, because I know like they're very active in your entities. So please make sure that you're approaching the account manager and the GC, or if it's a regional partner, you're approaching me and not directly the partner, because there might be some things, or again, there might be a preconceived notion that, okay, I want to really explore, or I want to skip some lines and then try it out, and approach directly PwC. And then, okay, if they're interested or something, but there might be, again, future implications when it comes to something related to the contract on AI, because you cannot, you probably won't be able to deliver those things. Or you might be missing some opportunities as well if you're not directly talking to the account manager. So make sure like you're firstly approaching the account manager. Next up, we have expansion sales model number one. This is again taking, everything is taken from the ER principles. So expansion sales model number one is RO, regional office, selling to a current regional partner in entities where they didn't have operations before. So for example, if I have Mind Valley, and they are taking, or they're express an interest in doing a digital campaign, or if they express interest in doing or being present in ISEC in Malaysia's conference, let's say, then it will be counted as an expansion sales model number one. And it uses global prices. And after finding an opportunity for an entity, I will contact your entity, and your entity has a right to accept or reject my proposal. So that is totally fine. And if accepted, then I and your MCVP's BD will co-create the proposal, and we will be working out on the delivery together. And after signing the contract with the partner, you and the regional office will have a memorandum of understanding for the deliverables. And if required, if desired, the entity can become a sub account manager for that delivery. And for GEPs, which are our exchange products, the normal sharing model is followed as we mentioned earlier. When it comes to GAPs, so it can be a bit complicated. But if I have, again, the example that I took before, if I have a global partner or a regional partner that is interested in coming to your entity, then this will be the sharing model applied. Again, it's entirely dependent on your delivery. If you're responsible for delivery, then you get most of the percentage of the revenue. If it is another entity, or if it's the regional event, then regional office gets most of the revenue. But then again, like, it's still an additional touch point for your entity and additional revenue. And one of the biggest benefits, I would say, when it comes to collaborating or doing sales for regional or global touch points is the amount of package that you can sell. Because again, not saying that you don't have enough value when you sell a national or a national touch point, but it's a very increased value that you're proposing to partners when it comes to regional or global touch points. Then we also have expansion sales model number two. So this is my favorite sales model. Again, everything is taken from the ER principles. This is where an entity sells to their current entity partners, um, and you don't need to make that partner a global or a regional partner. So you can keep your partner to yourself. What you need to do is just like you sell the regional or global touch points. So your partners attend the regional events, or your partners come to the regional events, and basically you keep your partnership to yourself, and there is a sharing model involved. So basically it's again an additional touch point, and the delivery and everything is on the regional office or ISEC International, depending on the touch point. Follow up for this, because this was recently legislated. There are some changes in terms of the sharing model, so I don't want to give like any incorrect percentages here. So make sure that your MCVP's BD are following up on the BD track that is there in the global agenda today. AI does not become the account manager. AI or RO does not become the account manager in this model. So for example, we have regional event coming up in May, which is a case competition. Your entities can choose to sell those touch points and also keep your partners. So that is going to be a very added opportunity for your BD revenues. When it comes to upscaling, basically it is another important point is that you can only sell two GAPs per term using this model. For example, if you have a national partner that wants to come to regional presidents meeting and also come to, let's say, the regional event, and also wants to come to the regional presidents meeting in November. That's three touch points for a single partner. That means that partner has a scope for a regional partnership. So you're only allowed maximum of two. if you want more than that, then it is recommended and you're required to upscale that partner to a regional level. Basically, upscaling is again upscaling your national partner to a regional partner or our regional partner to the global partner. And we have a revenue sharing model which is applied for the first 12 months of upscaling. And the thing is, very interesting opportunity for your entities could be like if you upscale a partner to a regional scale or a global scale, then for the first 12 months, every single entity that will be in like the entire package and all the touch points that we're going to be selling in that package for the first year, in any entity, doesn't matter, your entity gets 10% of every single touch point. So that is something very interesting for you to also take notice. And maybe this is something that you can make sure to also explore. Okay. Then we also have co-sales. This is something that I'm engaged a lot with ISEC in Malaysia, ISEC in Singapore, ISEC in Hong Kong. But then again, I know like we have focus entities, but that does not mean that we are not open to other entities. We are always open to other entities. I've had ISEC in the Philippines as well, in conversations with co-sales. I've had quite a few other entities as well. So please, if you have any opportunities that could be there for regional partnership, like make sure that your MCVPs, and if you're an MCVP, you're approaching me directly for this. And co-sales, again, in the case where the outcomes of the co-sales process results in a global or a regional partnership, then the sharing model is applied. But in case it does not end up in a regional partnership, then the sharing model is not applied. There is also a recent change in this criteria, so make sure that you're also following up on the BD track today, because we are recently legislated that if you refer a lead to the regional office or to AI, then your entity gets a certain percentage. But I will not be giving any incorrect statistics on that or incorrect numbers on that. So make sure that you're following up on the BD track today. Opportunities for you at the moment could be, number one, we have RPM coming up in May. Number two, we have RFS Functional Summit coming up in May. We have another external event coming up in May itself. We also have an October regional event coming up in October again. Another event question mark is something, if you feel that there could be an interesting event that we can create together, we are more than open for it. So yes, this is basically my monologue. If you have any questions or concerns, like I will open, let me check. Yeah, we have space for a small Q&A. It can be related to this. It can be related to the sales or capacity building. So I will open this space. You can also choose to sell GLD, but like it will depend, because GLD is a global touch point. So if we choose to go sell together, you can also choose to do that. I will open a space now. So yes. Any questions?
Sumi, I'd like to ask some questions. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I have two questions actually. The first one is, you say that we can co-create the regional events, right? And about that,
Yeah.
can we actually, I think Indonesia has some EY initiatives that we have. Can we actually upscale that? So it's gonna be the upscaling model that we would like to try. That's the first one. If it good, then I want to know like the details of the process in the future. And also the second one about the regional, maybe upskilling or postals and everything. Can we have like an exact or like spaces or maybe a newsletter in the upcoming events that we can actually participate?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot for that input. Have you submitted this in the form as well? But I'm taking notes, so this is something that we can work on for sure. What was your first question? Can you repeat it again, please?
Okay, so I think Indonesia has EY initiatives, right? And can we actually like upscale that to maybe become it is in the form of a webinar, so it may looks like a little bit like YSF. Can we actually upscale that? And if it could, how can we do that in the process with other entities?
Okay, you mean if you have an event that is doing really well in your entity, and then you want to make it a regional event?
Yep.
Okay, we are open for that. And you can also choose to be a host entity for that. So that's more benefit for you. Same goes for other entities as well. This would require more coordination with the regional office, of course, but definitely we are open for that. When it comes to the process for it, I've taken notes because again, we've never really done something like this before. So let me consult this with my BD team and I will get back to you. So what we can do is, if it will be okay for MCPs and MCVPs BD, we can have another space, let's say like next month or this month itself, if it will be okay for you to answer all of these things. So I can structure everything better. Yeah, or I can approach you individually as well. When it comes to the newsletter or a detailed document on all the opportunities for you. We will be sending a regional newsletter to MCPs and MCVPs BD. So this is something that we will be doing. Also was an input that I got in the previous space. So yes, we will be working on that. Anything else?
Yeah, if I have it, if there is time to ask,
Sure.
current from Vietnam. Uh, I have a question in terms of you saying that we can sell these events. Have there
Mm-hmm.
been any space between the entire BD Commission of Asia Pacific to coordinate the proposal of the opportunities available? Because just to let, like, I don't know, it's a
Mm-hmm.
point of information or something like that, because the sales time is different for different entities.
Yeah.
Like when people close their sales, for example, in Vietnam, the planning was done in December, and now they were not understanding or taking any portfolios at that moment of time.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have Tet and Lunar New Year. So basically, now is what it is starting, and somewhere it's already ended. So have you considered all those sales timings and found your sweet spot where you can actually sell the global or regional touch points? If we talk about, we have, for example, APMCP coming up, we have a lot of other spaces which are there. And I think these things are more easier to sell rather than upscaling the event, because then that would require a host entity. And I think we all have been doing in our own entities, like we have trouble coordinating with the host LC, a national event as
Mm-hmm.
well, because MC is a, we cannot host an event on its own, or we have to have an external OC. So again, that coordination is more difficult rather than going forward with the regional and global initiative, like whatever touch points are available. If you want entities to participate in that, then that could be one of the things which can bring easy money for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that also needs to consider how we are centralizing a regional portfolio to be sold. So for example, my if my MCVP is going for sales, he can propose or she can propose the regional touch points as well in the meeting. If that is not happening right now, and the now is the sales peak,
Yeah.
then the point is nothing's going to be sold at the given point of time, and the event is
Mm-hmm.
going to be there. So yeah, I think this is something which a regional portfolio or
Yeah.
sales portfolio should be created as soon as possible, putting all the regional touch points and packaging. For example, every entity uses different kind of model to sales right now. In my entity, we are doing package sales. So we do an internal 1 year sale. We have a package of different activities in it. And how do we want to put certain activities of regional touch point? Because the difference would be huge. For
Mm-hmm.
example, if something for me, I charge $5,000. A regional event should be about 20,000 for the same scale of understanding.
Yeah.
So those things need to be, and then just upscales what kind of partner that becomes, like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever category of partners. I think one of the basic things which we really need to do sit together is coordinate the proposal, what would be the
Okay.
activities, and centralize it so that when the salespeople, probably say in Indonesia, India,
Mm-hmm.
or Vietnam, wherever they're doing sales, they can at least propose the regional partnership or regional touch points if somebody's interested to. And then I am not very sure who is the decision making body in the, for example, in a national partnership, we know who's the decision making body, but in the regional office, for example, if we're promoting them a regional understanding, who would be the, like, have you done, as you said, you've done your preliminary sales, right? You've found some partners here and there. So are you contacting the regional offices, like the regional headquarters, or you're contacting
Yeah.
the national
Mm-hmm.
headquarters? What is happening there? So yeah.
So when it comes to the regional office sales, because again, every partnership that I would sign from regional office would be with the regional office, with the regional headquarter of that company. But when it comes to your entities, you can choose to sign it with your national partners, but that means that that partner will not be a regional partner, but that partner can come or can choose to buy a regional product. Let's say come to the regional conference, or let's say come to the regional event. So that is something to note. Other than that, wait, yes, Isuru?
Yeah, I think I was just want to add what Karan mentioned for the first point, because I think previously we were more focused on the focus entity sales as well. Like we build this common portfolio with them only. But I understand the Karan's point. I think it's really cool. That's why like we bring in this to the overall MCPs and overall network as well. So I think going forward, we can actually bring everyone together and we can build this portfolio together so that everyone, all the MCPs BDs, they can also go and sell the regional events as well in the future.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I see a huge potential. For
Yeah.
example, when I'm selling in Vietnam, it probably say $5,000 partnership. But if I'm selling a regional partnership, I can get a lot more money for the same kind of touch point. And that will really help it. But then if not having, like as you said, you have a centralized portfolio for the focused entities, for sure that is a nice thing. But yeah, it would really help if there was something already there for
Yeah.
the people to go ahead and put that in front of the company. They take it, don't take it, it's on their understanding, but negotiating is something which is a later part of it. But yeah, a centralized portfolio would really help. And if also, not just including the regional part, if AI is accepting partnerships, like if they want somebody from AP region to come and put forward a keynote speech or something in their international, I would say, initiative, that would also be interesting to put in the portfolio. So that this helps first give a message to my partners that I'm an international organization and here are the touch points which you can probably participate in, or contact your global or national or regional office to understand whether you want to do a probably say employer branding or a marketing activity in your region. So I think this would be the first and very easy step to see, because it's required just centralizing a portfolio of all events available inside the region, outside the region, or whatever it is. And it can be that also, if available, other regions. For example, one of my companies is expanding in Europe and they asked us, hey, can you help us coordinate there? And something like that. And I had no answer because I didn't know what to do with that. And I was like, okay, let me find you the MCP's contact. And I just let me find me. And for me, I could not charge that person anything for this coordinating service. It was
Yeah.
just a goodwill gesture to make sure that I can do the partnership. But then the point is it ended up bad because that particular entity did not respond well. So we that would be something that would be great if we are coordinating not as a region, but also in other regions, because there are a lot of cross-cultural regional activities happening inside probably say one company or one understanding. If you're going to MNCs, there's a lot of cross-cultural regional activity which is happening, which needs to be addressed as well at this level of point.
Those are really good inputs. Thanks a lot for that. Definitely. I will also like to take this moment to also kind of, if you're an MCP, please push your MCVP's BD to be maybe like be more open to communicating with the network, like the BD network or the touch points that we have within the region itself as well. So make sure that they're also making the most of them, because again, I'm really grateful that you all are here in this space, because we really want to have this conversation with all of you. Again, this is something like we've not had BD on a regional level before. So again, as better as we can make it. Yes. Cassie, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sumi. Listening to the whole presentations makes me realize one thing, that it is actually I don't know what words can explain it better, but it is quite contradictory with what I feel as an entity, because I don't know, the case in Indonesia is we've never been, like having a touch point with global partner or regional partner and so on. We focus only national partner because we were not operating IGT back then, the incoming global talent one, the long-term one. So I don't know the updates on how to create the partnership. In Indonesia, I feel that we are quite less power in terms of attract partner in Indonesia, even to collaborate with our national conferences or our national portfolio. several times I talked with the MCPs on how we can collaborate as a regional, and then, like trying to sell the regional, or even I think that regional has more power instead of us, by regional has more branding, has more, like bigger scope or something like that. It can actually help entities to generate or to attract more partners in the entities, and then we can create much more stronger, how do I say, perceptions about ISEC, and then from that we can upscale it. That is the current how do I say, bottleneck that we have in Indonesia. We don't have like any potential partner because I think that the current portfolio that we have, it's not attractive anymore. We used to sell GV to the insurance company and we got a lot of, like huge partnership fee. But right now it is gone because of the uncertainty of the product itself. And then I think also most of the entity focus on, like try to sell their own IWA. It is not because we don't want to align with AI, but I think that some of the entity already start creating their IWA initiatives way before than AI. And then people starting to focus on, like selling a new portfolio. And then in the pace of trying or trial or testing, I can say. So I believe that on the May touch point that we will have soon, it will be better also on how a regional office could help us in terms of promoting IWA initiative that is happening in the entity. And then it can be, like attract more partner. And then this partner can be actually upscaling once they already have like some experiences or benchmarking partnering with ISEC. I think that is like also, how do you say? It is quite a different perspective. Instead of how we entities helping RO, I think RO can help entities. And then after these entities help by the RO, it can be entities helping the regional office later on. Because I think this is the current bottleneck that we have in the entity.
Just so I'm clear, when you say like the opposite approach, do you mean like we sign a regional partnership first and then we take the partnerships to the entities? Or like, how is it?
It can be one of them, but I think like it is more, like we don't have quite huge branding. One of the reasons, this is very, I don't know if it is happening only in Indonesia. For example, we want to try to approach Nestle or even Unilever, and then we are trying to using like another entity's portfolio in the previous partnership that they have. And then this company is not interested because they don't have like any, like experience or benchmarking with my entity. So if regional office can have like, like a bunch of portfolio that is already happening in the past with the other entities, and those things can be don't scale it to LC, don't scale it to entity, it will be great for us to approach them. And once we get in touch or engage with them, we can nurture them, and then it can be upscaled to regional office. So first, try to make sure that those entities in the national level can engage with the MC first. So it will be easier for us to sell a regional products for them. I mean, like in terms of brand.
Okay, thank you so much. We will definitely take this into account. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah.
Isuru, do you want to add something? Okay. Who is there?
Okay, Isuru, you can go first.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Karan, go.
I think what Casey,
yeah,
I think what Casey said was something we were discussing. Me, Casey, and June in previous. We had a call. All three of us was the same, that we have multiple partners in the region. Probably say Isaac in Vietnam is working with say Unilever, Nestle, and la. And then we have Isaac in Sri Lanka as well working with Nestle, and then we have other entities working with a lot of different partners. But then some entities have very good relationship with these entities, with these partners. So if regional office, I think it's up to us what should be the next step of regional office in terms of first either centralizing a portfolio and letting everybody do sales for the regional touch points, so that you can understand whether they are sellable or not, or coordinate the entire region in terms of getting partners so that basically entities can pay for a regional budget. Simple like that. Like if you want to do a regional partnership to pay for the budget, like if that is the basic problem, right? We are trying to address to make sure that we are not financially crippling ourselves. So it can be two ways, either selling something which can help us there, or probably coordinating the entire region to be financially independent so that they can take care of the payments which are there so that regional office doesn't have to, suffer through that. I think that's the first priority. So let's be very vulnerable about that and address it as effectively as possible.
That is for sure. Makes sense. Isuru, do you want to add something?
I think like what Casey mentioned, like I think this is something like for me, like I'm seeing two clear call to actions from our side. Which is one thing is like clear, we building partnership that we are and making sure everyone is aware of it so that people can take it forward. And second one I'm saying is like looking into the partners that we are working individually in the entities and try to see like if there's a bigger regional partnership that we can build from them and that can benefit more entities than that we are benefiting right now. So I think these are the two call to actions that I'm seeing right now from this, as well as like I think we can individually approach MCPPs and see like what are the upcoming events that they have and how regional office can help them to sell better and help them to like bring a bigger partnership through using our resources as well. So probably like we can your event can have one space where we promote overall region where we bring in a lot of people so that that can be like a sell for a higher cost, like for an example. So like I think these kind of things I think we will approach individually and like try to figure it out.
Thank you so much for that. Anything else? I think we need to go, but we can take one more input if you have. I will write the I will write the link here again. So please give us all your inputs.
Building on Casey's idea, I think first and foremost step can be understanding, like going to the context phase of anything, of any planning or action space, is that you can start collecting inputs and also understanding from which entity. For example, for me, Unilever, we have been in Unilever partnership for 15 years. So which are these entities who have been in partnership with which companies for a longer period of time? That means they have a better connection and they can help you put forward the message or probably say understand the message for a regional environment effectively, or they can write an endorsement for regional, for all offices of probably say Unilever AP region, so that when the sales, for example, Indonesia goes for Unilever sale, they can present that endorsement from Isaac in Vietnam office saying that hey, we have been partnered with them 15 years and this can help you do that. So they can probably escalating that and then proposing regional office that how can you take that partnership of scaling it to a regional partnership and asking Unilever. For example, that's what we're doing for our local LCs. So LCs have some good connections with some national partners. We are trying to upscale those and then selling them that right now you're dealing with one LC. Why not partnership with an entire office and get attention of entire 9 offices of IC in the same can be the AP partnership as well. But I think what is more needed here is that it cannot just be upscaled because it's not national, because taking the decision of a national entity is very easy. But when it comes to regional office, like regional headquarters,
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
be that would be a critical aspect. So if we can show the regional office or regional headquarter of a company that we are already working in, like probably say 5 or 6 countries of the region, and it has been successful for them, then barely the national offices can send in their concerns that yes, you can partner with them and probably get us, take the regional budget out of it, and then probably national budgets cannot be that hampered with that, because I think COVID-19 has a lot
Hmm.
of effects on the budget of national, also regional headquarters as well.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Karan. We've taken down the inputs. I will close this space, but please keep this. I will post the link again.